The system is failing. We're going to have more homelessness, more unemployment, and the government has to print more money. It's a command and control economy where the government tells you everything. I just don't trust our government. And they're going to have to start printing pretty quickly. And the more they print, the less value, purchasing power the dollar has, or the loonie, or the yen, or the peso. People are talking about inflation. I think we're in depression right now, and we're going to be the biggest depression in world history.
In the 1970s, that's when the world was changing.
The biggest bust in the history of the world is coming up. It's pensions. They trusted the government. They trusted their pension would be there, and it's going to go bust. And that's us. We get crushed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today, as I hope everyone is excited for 2023. And I want to wish you all a very happy new year. First and foremost, to start off the year, before I get into the content for the day, I have to give a quick declaration. Guys, 2022 was an exceptionally tough year for me. As I know, it's been a tough year for crypto investors as a whole. For me particularly, I've had plenty of external events that people have no idea have occurred affect me and my productivity in 2022. What I have to say is that an acknowledgement of a lot of failures has to be the first step to ensure growth in 2023, and I believe in complete accountability being the first step in improving and being better. Two of my own businesses that I've started from the ground up have seen serious slowdowns, and I've had to let go of a number of employees and support teams due to market conditions and the economy as a whole. That is something I take to heart, and that's something that I view as a massive failure. In addition, 85% of my portfolio has been wiped out from the peak of 2021 in 2022. And while I'm still holding and have zero fear, it does hurt because I believed we were going to be in a much better place as far as the crypto market's concerned, and we would have had a much better opportunity to profit at higher values. I mention all of this now to say that I believe despite the tough 2022 we had, 2023 for XRP investors, in my personal opinion, will be a life-changing year, as I think we'll have the most growth as a community we will ever experience this year. Something that I want to say to all of you is that as the real world has given me a backhand pimp slap in 2022, it's also taught me to be more responsible, how to handle pressure better, and how to be more accountable when the worst of times come. My emphasis for 2023 is a cold-blooded ground and pound work ethic powered game, grounded in nothing but knowledge and grounded information for all of you. The hustle in 2023 will be surreal, and I highly recommend all of you subscribe to this channel, as well as my Instagram, as my daily posts throughout 2023 have completely returned. If there is one thing I can say is that a fire has been lit inside of me from all the adversity I've gone through this year. And I believe 2023 for me and everyone in this community will be the best year we'll have yet. It's no time to quit. It's no time to think things are overwhelming. It's the time to take the power into your hands and power through anything that may come. Now, guys, with all that being said, please take a listen to why I believe 2023 could very well be a better year than many people expect. Everyone's calling for doom and gloom cataclysmic scenarios. And while I do see how bad the world is, and I do understand how bad the economy is, it is very possible, specifically for the crypto market, and specifically for XRP, that we might be in for good surprises.
Let's hope the new year is better, Scott. I think it will be.
Tell me why you think so.
Well, I've never seen so much bearishness. There's never been a time when 60% of economists forecast a recession. And when everyone's on one side, I get very wary. I think there might be some really surprises next year. Let me tell you. 2022 was marked by very good job growth and very poor GDP growth and very poor productivity growth. Firms were hoarding workers because they worried they couldn't get them. I think we may see the opposite next year. I think we might see actually the job market loosen up dramatically, even job losses, but that GDP grows much faster than most people think. And we have a chance, if the Fed pivots, to really avoid a recession and have a good year for profits. Because if productivity comes back, Scott, that puts downward pressure on prices. It puts upward pressure on margins. And, everyone who says, oh, my goodness, these 2023 estimates are way too high, might be surprised that many of them might turn out to be what profits are going to be.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's ensure nobody twists my words. I'm not saying or confirming 2023 is going to be the best year in investing history, nor necessarily saying it's going to be a great year for the stock market. I'm actually afraid for people in the stock market. That's the bubble of all bubbles that's ready to pop. However, what we do understand is that crypto and the stock market have begun a potential inversely proportional relationship. It's relatively well known that over the past couple years, Bitcoin and the stock market, and as a direct result, the rest of the altcoin market, tended to move together. When stocks rose, crypto rose. However, now we have a moment in time where stocks and crypto have moved in different directions. Crypto still down 85 to 90% across the board, while stocks have been rising, all as the DXY has been falling. Historically, altcoins and the DXY have an inversely proportional relationship. Right now, altcoins and crypto have not exploded yet, but I believe they will. And I believe the only question we need to ask is when. Now, with that being said, we have to understand that in just over a week, the Flare Network will be officially having their distribution event. January 9th, 2023, mark it in your calendars. We will be receiving our Flare tokens. That's going to be something special and a powerful reward for the XRP army after years of trouble of this SEC case and delays. I believe it's going to be well worth the wait. And it's one of the biggest things I'm going to be working on with my mentorship community over the weeks to come. Now guys, something really important, and the title of this video for the day is the potential designation of XRP. What the hell is XRP? XRP was named a virtual currency in a 2015 document by FinCEN. In addition, XRP is going through this SEC lawsuit to get clarity on what the hell it actually is. Something is telling me that XRP could potentially get the designation of a stablecoin, because in my personal opinion, and the opinion of many other people, XRP's use case would be best served if the price were relatively stable. We have here in this digital currencies, US, China, and the world at a crossworlds document that XRP was over here discussed in the same breath as special drawing rates. What exactly is an SDR, you may ask? On the IMF website, it states that SDRs are reserve asset made by the IMF. What we all need to understand about that fact is every central bank on the planet has enormous sums of debt. Fiat currencies are all going to zero, but the IMF is the only institution that can bail out the central banks. They do not have debt. They can create world money. And here, in this document, it says, it is possible to envisage even more adventurous arrangements. For instance, a special drawing rights based stablecoin issued by a multilateral agency, reminiscent of John Keynes' proposed supranational currency, which would be exchangeable with any national currency. Any national currency could thus be convertible into any other national currency in 2 steps via the stablecoin. Such arrangements would resemble the cross-border payment system that Ripple currently operates with its XRP cryptocurrency, and is one of a variety of possible alternatives. Any democratic alternative should allow for private sector solutions. Multi-currency corridors, for instance, should not rule out the use of regulated private stablecoins or cryptocurrencies, even though such solutions might require additional regulation. You see, guys, when people like me come out here every single day and tell all of you that I believe XRP will take over all the money and it will be the one world currency, it's actually grounded in documents. There's actual evidence and discussions referencing XRP as an example for why it could be used. And the XRP haters have the audacity, the unmitigated gall, with all evidence in their face, to not face the facts. The fact of the matter is, XRP has been used as an example of world money by the BIS, by the IMF, by the World Bank, by numerous other central banks, G20, G30, G7. What more do you need? People need to see XRP go up to higher prices before they invest. And that's why they're not going to become the new 1% like we are. We're at the front of the line, winning the lottery in slow motion with the greatest digital asset ever created. And you need to understand that the IMF is currently about to flip the switch on the Great Reset, and I think XRP is going to play a massive role in that system.
And that is what we actually did. It's a very simple thing, saying in a world where needs are so gigantic and resources are constrained, we should not allow a dormant asset if we can make something out of it.
Now, guys, what we had there was Kristalina Georgieva, current head of the IMF, stating that they woke up the sleeping beauty of their 2021 SDR allocation. A lot of people don't know this, but SDRs were allocated last year. They go on to state climate vulnerable countries with gigantic needs but constrained resources can now tap into these assets via the Resilience and Sustainability Trust. What you need to be aware of and what you need to prepare for is the very real possibility of an ESDR. And there's a very real possibility XRP could be part of that ESDR basket as a global stablecoin. I believe when the G20 was hosted by Saudi Arabia, they mentioned global regulations for a global stablecoin. And I genuinely believe XRP does fit that bill. Time has to wait and see. But out of a massive financial crisis will come a massive restructuring of how the world works. Now, what is one thing that I've constantly been saying will happen? People doubt will happen, but it's probably coming. And will probably be a catalyst for XRP and CBDC adoption is bank bail-ins. When your banks all lock you out of being able to use your money and ATMs stop working, that's when the general public will wake up, but that's when it will be too late. There will be bail-ins globally, in my opinion. We've already seen some examples. Lebanon, Cyprus, the list will continue. The financial crisis is trickling to bigger and bigger countries. And then there will be a moment where one of the big boys in the global economic stage will execute this move. and that's when it'll be too late. I'm ready for XRP adoption. XRP's my lifeboat during this financial catastrophe. And all I'm doing is warning all of you, get in before it's too late.
Wondered whether there are some market tests of whether you're being heard. And I think about TLAC. So TLAC should respond to good and bad news about the institutions. And it's really important. I mean, it's a little bit conflicted, right? I mean, it's important that people understand they can be bailed in, but you don't want a huge run on the institution. But they're going to be. And it could be an early warning signal to the FDIC and the primary regulators when these things happen. And there may be some other prices, this is similar to what Jay was saying, in the market that you can tell whether people understand who's going to be protected, who isn't going to be protected. It would be, I think, an interesting study to look at the evolution of market prices in a situation like March of 2020, for example, and see whether people understood what might happen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if nothing else, at the very least, understand that you can get bailed in. And one of the biggest examples of what can happen in traditional markets with the traditional banking system is what happens when crypto exchanges go bankrupt. Voyager was a bail-in. Celsius was a bail-in. FTX was a bail-in. And your banks are no different. Prepare for any scenario. Have your XRP and digital assets offline in your offline hardware wallets. And protect your wealth for the great reset of the global financial system. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you with a funny video about FTX during this SBF collapse. And I hope you enjoy it as we're starting off 2023 with a bang. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
Hey, hi. I'm SBF, founder and CEO of FTX. My accidental theft of our customers' life savings to create a giant overleveraged Ponzi slush fund for myself is a tragedy that should have never happened. And to all those affected, I want to say I am deeply sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Oops. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm deeply sorry. Heh. Sorry. Oopsie doopsie.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Some breaking news in the case against disgraced crypto founder Sam Bankman-Fried. He was just released on $250 million bond.
Sorry.
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing pricing for their carbon credit solution, XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple, who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions, including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America. Ripple, who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve. Ripple, a former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division. Ripple, leading Australia's CBDC effort. Ripple, who hired a former Treasury of the United States. Ripple, 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board. Ripple, 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors, former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany, former business director at Swift, former Swift board member, former CFO of PayPal, former head of the DTCC, former chief business officer at Uber, former VP of Amazon, and former SEC chair on their legal team. Ripple, who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website. Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.